Gentlemen, and welcome to the Ray Tampa podcast. Our podcast offers bold commentary on various subject matters with a laser-like focus on the truth. My name is Ray Tampa. I'm the host of the Ray Tampa podcast. We have in our studio Mr. Russell Cato, a retired educator with more than 42 years of experience working in the Pinellas County schools. And Mr. Jamie Wilson III, a healthcare provider with more than 30 years of experience working as a physical therapist. My co-host. Today, we're going to take a deep dive into one of President Trump's obsessions, the SAVE Act. SAVE stands for Safeguard American Voter Eligibility Act. Trump is so obsessed with this act that he told Congress that he's not going to sign any more legislation until they pass this piece of legislation. What a threat. I'm not going to sign any more legislation until you all get this one to my desk. Also, Trump asked the Senate to change the rules that they have requiring 60 votes for passage in that Senate to beat the filibuster. Furthermore, he warned senators not to leave Washington or go on vacation until they got this legislation completed and sent to his desk. So the question is, why the intense interest in this legislation by the president? For one, Trump knows that things are not looking good for him and the Republicans ahead of the midterms. Trump knows that he and some of his cabinet members will have to answer a lot of questions about their stupidity if the Democrats win the House and possibly the Senate. He is terrified of facing a third impeachment. The SAVE Act is voter suppression by forcing voters to provide certain documentation to register to vote and certain photo IDs in order to vote. Taken together with a few other requirements, the SAVE Act could potentially keep millions of citizens from voting. Trump and his Republican allies are trying to rig the midterms.
Exactly.
They're trying to steal the election. They don't want the EPSTEIN files fully exposed. They don't want to answer under oath questions about the Iran war. They don't want all the grifting of the Trump family brought to light. They don't want any accountability for all their criminal behaviors to occur. That's a lot. Fellas, let's talk about it.
Go get him, Russ.
Go get him, Russ, I heard.
Okay. I think when I heard you use the word accountability.
Right.
And I think what we got to understand that the administration that Trump is running is accountability to him. That's where the accountability goes. He owns these people. He controls these people. You know, it's amazing. I've never seen a president I'll be honest with you, can control people like Trump. He is amazing to me for what they're scared of him, Ray.
That's the word I was going to say. They're scared of him. They saw what happened on January 6th. They saw all these people acting like they didn't have any damn sense for Trump. So they don't want those people coming after them. As a matter of fact, I remember an instance where Lindsey Graham was walking through the airport, and it wasn't too long after he had made some derogatory remarks about Trump. And a crowd of people approached him and scared the shit out of him. And he has gone back to being subservient to anything Donald Trump says.
Yes, Lindsey Graham.
What'd you say, Chad?
They also need to show clips of people, those same group of Trumpers that come at people. They need to show clips of them getting handled for that nonsense, because that's what Republicans want you to do, is cower and be obedient. This Trump is a dictator, and that's what he's running this country like a dictator. Dictators use fear to control. Dictators, that's what this guy used. Nothing great about him, and he's got a think tank behind him, a MAGA think tank behind him. Trump is not, as I always say, he's not the brains behind this, but he's running it with fear. And these loyalists, if you still running with Trump right now and believes in him after all this, you're racist and you're un-American.
I like that.
You're racist and you're un-American.
You're still following this man despite all he has done, all the grifting he's doing in plain sight. He's not hiding the fact that he's stealing money from the United States Treasury.
Yeah.
And a whole lot of other stuff.
And bullying voters. All this stuff here, they added the ingredient to the SAVE Act and this SB 750 that we're also going to talk about. The ingredient, they've added bureaucracy. Bureaucracy slows everything. It complicates everything. This is the ingredient that they've added, along with a lot of other stuff. But the stuff they're doing to people that are already Americans, or it's it's really causing a lot of problems. And yes, it's just to because of the election, because he's afraid. But even this stuff shouldn't even been considered.
I like that
point. It shouldn't even been considered.
Because we have a sorry-ass Supreme Court. Because they should have stopped so much of this.
So much. I blame the Supreme Court for all of this.
Long ago,
first term,
the Supreme Court should have stopped a lot of this nonsense. Because they know it's unconstitutional.
It's unconstitutional.
And they're scared too.
They weak.
But here's what you got to understand. I keep saying this to people. Trump is what you call a white nationalist. I don't care how you look at it. The Christianity, the rise of white Christianity is on the rise because of all this bullshit. And go back to what Jamie says. He knew if he controlled the DOJ, the Supreme Court, almost trying to control the Defense Department, which is getting out of hand. But look at the people he put in places to do this shit for him. Bobblehead people.
Bobbleheads.
They are.
Bobbleheads. Dumb bobbleheads.
Their goal is to beat democracy down to you get the next one in. It's democracy will be a thing of the past, or it'll be fractured so that it really has no power in the government system, so to speak. Because this man has infringed on the our rights. He's replacing everything. He does not care. He's got a bunch of weak people. That's who he surrounds himself with. But he is not the brains. Don't be fooled. He's not the brains. You got, the Pillatier people. You got the vice president who has his own group. It's a whole bunch of them. It's a think tank of racists, and they weaponize religion. So you can't even say religion is and feel the same way about it. It's making religion a bad word almost. Their religion anyway. And not all Republicans are like Trump or racist or whatever. I'm not saying that. I'm saying the one that's rolled with him definitely are. Definitely are. And on America.
During Trump's first administration, he would hold cabinet meetings and he would go around the table and have these different cabinet officials make flattering remarks about him.
Mm-hmm.
And it was like, this is not real.
Narcissist.
This is not real. Pathetic. You had cabinet members talking about you're the best president we've ever had. I love working for you.
Yeah.
You're great. And Mike Pence was the worst to flatter Trump. It's like,
nobody said a thing.
oh my God. But it's like, damn, what color's Pence's underwear? And are they G-strings? Are they pink? This is Pence, the way he exposed his feelings to Trump.
Yeah.
Stupid.
They're still doing it.
And then, yeah, well, they haven't, that I'm aware of, going around the table blessing him like that. That was pathetic.
Yeah.
But what they have done is they've identified themselves as a cabinet. As a cabinet.
And strong cabinet.
One of the best cabinets ever. What the hell? You got Department of Defense Secretary who was a podcaster, alcoholic, and all that other stuff. And then you got Gabbard and Nome and it's just ridiculous.
But the best thing we can tell people here is like update all your stuff. Your birth certificate, if you're recently married, get that straight, because if the names are different, use the same name. If you use a middle initial, use it every time. And update your addresses, update everything, because they're going to look for anything to turn you away.
Yeah.
So it's on you to get all your paperwork right before you step in there, because and these organizations that are helping people like farmers or new residents of the U.S. and all these people, they're holding them accountable. They put strict laws to organizations that help people register to vote. So any little thing, they're making them live. They're gonna. I think the fine's going from 50,000 to 250 for them, 250,000 for them. Any little thing that they can find organizations. So it's still forms of voter suppression that they're doing. And there's a lot of organizations out there that help people vote and help them fill out the stuff. But they're after you too. It's intentional. It's intentional. It's warfare.
And not only that, Jay, they're going after the states. Besides the individual voters, they're going after the states.
The states.
They will require, if this bill is passed and signed into law, they're going to require states to go through their own voter rolls and remove non-citizens from their official list of eligible voters.
Yeah.
Now, we don't have complaints about non-citizens being taken off the voter rolls, but they're going to use that to get actual citizens off those rolls.
That requires software. That requires funding. They have a software called the Systematic Alien Verification of Eligibility System to identify potential non-citizens. So we're talking about new tech. They have a limited time, and the government will not be funding states for that. You have to use your own money to do that. So that's gonna.
But you know,
they're not funding states.
But you know what, Jamie? That's the election that Trump lost, 2020, was that it? The election. When he lost that election, he was hurt big time. The only thing that he had to go on was voting. Okay, they cheated. They doing that to George. Remember that? Remember that thing on the TV where he was talking about how many votes he did? He still does that today. And that's one of his biggest, largest assets to Trump. He still rehashed that 2020 election, and he bring it up to his people, and they rehash it too. That's why we got all this.
Well,
It's hate.
You know, Trump is stating that he's pushing the SAVE Act because he does not want illegal immigrants to vote. He doesn't want people who are not eligible to vote voting in our elections. But think about this. A felon with 34 felonies voted in Florida's last election.
And won.
Man, no, he didn't win.
Oh, I'm thinking of Trump.
No. The same man who's pushing hard against mail-in voting, he submitted a mail-in vote in this election here in Florida. And he advocated heavily for the guy that lost. That lost in his home area, in his home district. So Trump is on a losing streak.
He is.
Like crazy.
Yeah.
But he doesn't care. All he wants to do is deny people the opportunity to vote in this upcoming midterm election.
But it's a flip side to this. You got a lot of, like, you got them coal mining areas. You got areas in Florida that are so poor. These people ain't got money to deal with all this bureaucracy and all this other stuff. So those voters that were able to vote the first time for him, they're not going to be able to vote as well. They're not going to go through all that. You got them old people that they uneducated, they were farmers and they done lost this, they done lost that. They're not going to be able to vote because they're not going to go through all that. They're not going to go through all, they're not going to, I'm talking would-be Republican voters. They're not going to go through it.
Well, he's hoping that there are going to be more minority voters.
He's hoping.
And others denied.
Yeah, he's hoping.
That will give him a chance.
Right. He's targeting us, but it's going to hurt him as well.
Because as it looks now, as it stands now, he knows that the Republicans are going to be tidal wave. There's going to be a tidal wave of blue.
It's coming, and he's like you guys say, he's afraid. I mean, he's got a lot of things coming at him. The Epstein files, you know, they impeachment, possibly going to jail after all this if we flip it. You know, it's a lot of things coming after him. The money to pay back, all the cruel stuff, then lawsuits from other organizations, civil rights groups, human rights groups. You know, he got a lot of lawsuits, a lot of things coming at him.
I just don't.
And states suing him.
I just don't believe it. In the next, you got what, 3 more years? I don't think it's going to be effective at all. I watch it.
Well, if the midterms come out as we're hoping,
hoping.
No way he can be effective.
I don't think he can.
No way.
Lame duck president.
Yeah, he will not be effective if we can flip it. He will not be, and that's what he's afraid of, and that's his house of cards will fall.
And believe it or not, one house they scared of now. One time they didn't mention that. They know the house going to change. They know that right away. But it's the Senate.
Yeah.
They looking at that being changed.
And that's a possibility.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's a possibility.
Look at Texas.
You know, I look at Democrats and Republicans. I feel like we were talking about sleeper cells earlier before this. I feel like each group has their own sleeper cell in the other party. Because look at the ones that, like all the stuff we have been fighting for, and we kind of had them on the line, and then we get, 7 to cross over and vote? They cross the line to vote. And I feel like they're just secret Republicans to do stuff like that. And I think they have them on the other side too, but they ain't helping us here lately.
Yeah, I want to go back to something you said earlier. You said people need to start getting ready, getting their ducks in a row, so that when it's time to vote, they are not going to be hassled.
Right.
So when I said earlier that certain photo IDs are going to be acceptable, I want to spell out those things. Listen up, citizens. In order for you to vote in the midterms, photo ID requirements for in-person voting. You have to have photo if this bill passes. Voters would be required to provide government-issued photo ID to vote in person. Specifically, U.S. passports, driver's licenses, state IDs, military IDs, or tribal IDs. They're not going to accept college IDs. There again is a way to deny the college age kids from voting.
Mm-hmm.
College IDs, not acceptable.
Right.
Please pay attention to what you need. If you're not eligible, get eligible. And I just stated the things you're going to need.
Right. And use the same name. If you're a junior, senior, the third, or initials, use it. Because if they don't match, you're going to be turned away. Use the same name on all your documents. The same name. Because sometimes I get some mail that just says Jamie Wilson, but I'm Jamie Wilson the third. So it needs, you know, on your IDs, it needs to have the same name every time.
You know,
They will turn you away.
what you going to say, Russ?
That was the point, because I would have that problem. For instance, on my birth certificate, it's a different, I got a different middle name.
Mm-hmm.
See, on my birth
Yeah.
certificate, it started as a middle name, but I've been using mine for years.
Yeah.
So if I went to vote,
So get on at 9. Everybody need to get on at 9 because we're telling you, they will turn you around.
Well, the hope, in all seriousness, is that the Senate will not pass this bill.
Right.
It's already passed in the House of Representatives.
Mm-hmm.
And if the Senate does not pass it, then so be it. It won't become law.
Right.
And what Trump is trying to do is put a lot of pressure on those senators. As I read earlier, he told them, you can't go home on vacation until you get it done. And what type of enforcement he has over that particular portion of their responsibility. He'll just try and bully them. He'll expose those senators that don't
that's what he would do.
Yeah.
and scare them like he has them scared already.
Yeah.
That I'm gonna sick my stupid people on you.
Yeah.
The thing with this in the Senate though, and that thing is not going to pass. I'm gonna tell you that it ain't going to pass. The reason being, in the Senate you got that filibuster. That stops it right there. It kills them. You got to have more than a majority to win this thing. They don't have
Need
it.
60 votes.
They don't have it. Another thing they're counting on, of course, he did it by surprise. Chuck Schumer. So remember the first time he gave in? And Democrats called him and said, "Don't you dare do that no more." You see, because they were counting on Chuck Schumer.
Yeah. He's
Now, the Senate president right now, he's been fighting back against Trump, trying to pressure him to get rid of the filibuster. He's fighting back because he realizes that if we give in and the Democrats come back in control, they can do the same thing and take away a lot of things that we've already passed.
Yeah, exactly. And that's what we're hoping and praying for.
Excuse me. I'm hoping that Trump gets sick. I'm hoping that Trump gets sick. I'm not going to say some other things I might want, but this man is ill.
He's evil.
He's evil.
He's evil.
He's everything we can think of.
Yeah.
And then he got the people in the background.
Yeah.
Like that little bald head man, Miller, and a few others. I hope whatever he catches, they catch behind him.
Right. I mean, like people, you know, I get Christians, you got to say nice stuff, and religious people and all that. But with all the stuff he has done and said, and just the blatant racism, the blatant homophobia, the trying to remix religion, people hate this man.
Yeah.
People wouldn't care if a building fell on him. The same way I felt about not Charlie Chris, but with Charlie Kirk. The same way I felt. Oh, he's dead. Don't speak of the dead. You're still a dead so-and-so. I ain't gonna curse on air, but I really would like to in this regard. But if you're a bad person, you're a bad person. If you're a bad person, you're a bad person. That's just the bottom line. And it's not going to change if you're the president, if you're the pope, or you the whoever you are. And if you're dead, you still you're a bad person.
And Jay, let me ride on that point. He said Robert Mueller died the other day. I think I was investigation of Trump. Trump went on record and saying he was glad he did.
See, he can say stuff like that.
What I just said.
Right, he can say stuff like that.
He can say that.
But we're not supposed to say it.
Yeah.
Oh, you're gonna black bands don't come up. Well, let them come. I mean, you got to say, who is that guy? I can't think of his name. I can't think of his name right now. But anyway, also for with this SB 750, they're adding more restrictions. For if you're a non-family member, they're trying to ban you from filling out your registration on behalf of your friends, or if you might say y'all family, but if you can't prove y'all family, it'll be a fine. It could be some harsh consequences for filling out on behalf of them, voters registration. So don't make the mistake. People get on the internet and look for the rules so that you don't get yourself in any legal trouble, because they're looking for that. Because all it takes is one thing on Bay News 9 that they jail somebody for a year, and then everybody going to be scared off trying to help people or whatever. So just do it the right way and protect yourself.
Okay, what Jamie was just speaking about was Senate Bill 7050.
Mm-hmm.
And this was a bill passed in the state legislature. And it too, just like this nonsense that Trump is pushing, the SAVE Act, this is the state's version, good word,
to appease
version of the SAVE Act. Now, based on all this stupidity of DeSantis setting up alligator Alcatraz, and doing a whole lot of stuff to make himself look good to the MAGA crew.
That's why he doing.
Then he pushes this SB 750 to look good to the MAGA crew, the state's version of the SAVE Act. I heard that Trump is considering DeSantis for a position in his administration.
Right, he is.
Oh my God!
No, I've heard that.
Two of the worst people in the world in the same administration.
Goddamn, what in there?
Well, she's in the group, but DeSantis is one of the two individuals in the world.
Yeah, he wants to get back in his good graces, and he'll do any and everything.
Bondi, my God. Even Stetson Law School.
Yeah,
people that graduated from Stetson.
Yeah.
They are warning the university to somehow issue a proclamation against Bondi for the behavior she's displaying in Washington, D.C.
Yeah.
And if the university doesn't do it, they're going to hold back on their donations.
Yeah.
She is, oh God,
yeah,
horrible. The university has gotten into the act saying that if Washington, D.C. doesn't get an apology or something from Bondi, they're going to hold back on their donations.
John Blanche, who was part of that DOJ, I think he was a deputy. I heard him on the internet the other day, said this, it was amazing, CPAC people. And he said, people, it's in the Constitution. He said, but the president, the executive branch, that's who you obey first. And that's all. They help with the Constitution.
Man said that.
That's what he didn't say it that way, but that's what he was saying.
That's what's going on now.
Yeah.
All right. Good conversation, fellas. I just been notified. We got 1 minute, probably 35 seconds now. And with that being said, I want to thank my two co-hosts for another job well done, as always. I want to thank you, the listening audience, for tuning into the Ray Tampa podcast. And we ask that you do so each and every Tuesday evening, 5:30 p.m., 99.1 FM, The Bird. And we also want to remind you, please, 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 call the Supervisor of Elections Office and renew your mail-in ballots.
Yes.
is so important. And with all that being said, good evening.